Hi everyone, it's Ryan here with another episode of Blockchain Markets. So today I'm with Yoav, CEO of MyShield. So hi Yoav, and welcome to Blockchain Markets.
Hi, thank you very much, Ryan.
Thank you, and yes, we were just talking before the live session. Security is one of the biggest problems nowadays in crypto, but not just in crypto, but in the internet, and it is likely to just become bigger and bigger. So then, as I said, as part of the community, we got the interest of talking to you and to talk about what is MyShield's approach to the solution of this problem. But just before we start with MyShield itself, maybe it's good if you give us a bit of a background of yourself, and then we just start with MyShield.
Sure. So personally, about myself, I understand that you're interested. So first of all, I'm the CEO of BrandShield, which is the company that has created MyShield since 2013, when we established the company. Actually, it's our second company, me and the other founders, Yuval and David Friedman. Our first company is called Domain.net. It's the largest domain name registrar in Israel, and the corporate domain name registrar servicing large companies, NASDAQ traded, London Stock Exchange traded, Tel Aviv Stock Exchange traded, companies from around the world. So we've been in this industry since 2000, actually. Very much involved in the industry, in the domain name space, and out of that in the online brand protection space and security. In organizations like ICANN, the organization responsible for the domain name policy in the world. I was representing the registrars at the GNSO Council. It's kind of the main council that is creating the policy on ICANN. I was representing them for 4 years. Yuval, my partner, was actually representing the Israeli government at some period at the Government Advisory Committee. Been very much involved in the organization. We're also involved in other organizations like INTA. INTA is the International Trademark Association, where a lot of people that are dealing with counterfeits and all kind of online fraud are involved. I'm a member of the anti-counterfeiting committee at that organization. Also at the Anti-Counterfeiting Coalition. It's another body very focused on anti-counterfeiting. So we've been very much involved in this industry for many years. More about me. Before that, I was in a very different industry. I was a senior advisor to a minister in the Israeli government. I was in politics for about 4 years. And I'm, for my education, I'm a physicist and an economist in my first, my BA. And I have an MBA from Kellogg and Recanati, which is Northwestern University in the U.S. and Tel Aviv. It's a joint degree. That's kind of a quick background about myself. I was in information security position when I was in the Israeli army. I was an officer. That's kind of where I started dealing with these type of problems. That's generally it about myself.
Great. Thank you very much. Very interesting. I think one thing maybe we can also discuss. I think it's also interesting for the audience to know. It's what is the relationship between BrandShield and MyShield? Because you just mentioned it was kind of a spin-off, right?
Sure. Well, MyShield is not a spin-off. MyShield is, I would say, the next phase of the BrandShield technology. It is It is the involvement of BrandShield. So what we've generally done, maybe a little bit background about BrandShield, and that will help understand the relation of what is going on here. So BrandShield has developed a cyber intelligence technology. Generally, it's a system that crawls the web and finds websites, marketplaces, listings, social media pages, mobile apps, and paid ads that are doing phishing and fraud and selling counterfeits and doing all those bad things that we're interested to fight and stop. The system goes. It is a B2B system. We can go more into technology later. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's focused on organization, on companies providing that solution, that information, that cyber intelligence to the organizations that want to fight it. They want to fight it for themselves. They want to protect their business. They want to protect their users. And when we got in the past year, we started servicing more and more the crypto industry with different exchanges and crypto companies and fintech and ICOs and so on, and servicing that industry and learning more about blockchain and the cryptocurrency industry in general. We understood that it actually provides an opportunity to implement a much bigger vision that we've had for several years. And that is finding a solution that protects the users, because at the end, the people that get hurt, especially on phishing and fraud, and also on counterfeits, the people that buy the wrong products are the end users. They get hurt. Yeah, it hurts the bottom line of some companies, or maybe if you're an ICO, so you've raised less than what you've expected. But the person that really had that loss is the end user, and there's no solution out there online for to really protect from these problems. So, but we do have the intelligence already. So what we've understood that it's an opportunity to take that information and bring it to the users. So MyShield is therefore an involvement of the BrandShield. Kind of the next phase is adding the next phase and bringing a solution, the anti-scam for the end users. So generally, we're bringing that intelligence to the users, but it takes it even to a greater level. What we're doing in MyShield is we're adding the blockchain. We're adding the crypto. And why? Why is that? So the source of information, there's actually going to be two sources of information. One is our cyber intelligence of BrandShield, and down the road, there can be other cyber intelligence providers. The platform that we're developing doesn't have to be only BrandShield. That's the first provider. Mm-hmm. But cyber intelligence is one source. The second source, which is extremely valuable, is the community, or the users that can report on potential scams. So what MyShield is, by essence, is an anti-scam platform, decentralized platform, where the users, there's three major features. One is as the application will alert the users when they reach a scam website. It will also be able to show them what is a trusted website and even give them a guarantee, and we'll talk about that maybe later. Now, the second feature is when you interact with a website, especially in crypto, if it was hacked and the wallet number was actually changed in some way, we are able to validate whether that is the right. So if you're setting it to the right wallet on a website, and the third option is where the blockchain comes in, that's where the users report themselves. So when a user is going to interact with a website or see a social media page or a post that they believe is a phishing or a fraud, or down the road also counterfeit, they will be able, or he or she will be able to report that potential scam. That will be recorded on the blockchain. And then it will be also published on the MyShield website so others can check it and see what's going on. And then when there's more reports and there is a consensus between the users, that report, and the cyber intelligence from BrandShield, when they both agree that specific website or social media page or marketplace listing will be called a scam, will be validated as a scam, and then the bounty with our tokens will be distributed to the users that have reported. That's generally the model. There's more to it, but that's the model. Now, this is why it shows you. And going back to your question, BrandShield is a core part of the MyShield platform. And this is why this is kind of an involvement. So you have the cyber intelligence, and we add on top of that the crowd wisdom. Also, the other side, the B2B side, will continue functioning because, first of all, it will provide the brands, the companies, another layer of information that doesn't exist today in an organized way to the whole AI and powered cyber intelligence that we already have. So it allows another a strong source of information also to the business side that will allow them, they will put in the bounties. It's kind of the reciprocal process here. And so it will allow them to fight these things better. And the other side is that they themselves will be allowed from day one to pay for their services with our tokens. So it's actually, it's a whole, we're creating an ecosystem here, an ecosystem of confidence that everyone, all the stakeholders can play in it in the same playground.
Yeah, very interesting, especially the part of the ecosystem, and that companies still are a big part of that. Are you planning also to have in that ecosystem some kind of people can build their own profile? Let's say like somebody is constantly finding these phishing websites. Can companies from the other side, like say, would like to have people that have like, I don't know, 5 stars in finding websites or?
So we definitely, these are kind of the things that will come as we develop the system in more details, but definitely we're creating, it's clear that there are going to be different types of users of MyShield. There's going to be, end users that just going to download, whether it's going to be the application for your phone or the extension to your browser. Maybe we'll have also a software that you can download. It could be different. There's different ways that we are thinking on actually implementing it for the end users. Some of them are just going to use it as their anti-scam. But there's going to be some of them will actually take part in the game and will report. And clearly, there's going to be ratings for them. There's going to be different involvement. The more, the better they are, they're going to have more credibility in some sense. So it's definitely going to be a part of the game. The structure of the bounty is not necessarily, again, not now. We might decide to do it down the road. Not right now in the white paper. It's not structured on your, I would say, your credibility in some sense. It's more structured on, you're going to get, if you're the first one that have reported something, you're going to get more than the next people.
Okay.
And how much you're going to get is more based on what the company or MyShield itself. So the bounty is not necessarily only coming from the company. It's also it's coming from MyShield itself, from our revenue model. We also have initially a fund for of tokens for creating the first incentives kind of for of the bounties. And the levels of what you're going to get can be determined by the company. So if I'm a certain fashion company, and if you report on a website that is a counterfeiting sales website, maybe it's worth $100 for me. Okay, so I'm willing to pay $100 as a bounty for that report. So that's the and for me it's enough that it's going to be 5 people confirming that it is, of course, plus the BrandShield cyber intelligence. But then it can be another company, maybe in crypto, that says, you know what, it's worth $200 for me if you report a phishing website, and I want 3 people or 10 people or 100 people. So you can really determine what are the parameters for that. And I'm sure as you go, there will be super users. There's going to be different levels of credibility. We did create in our model. There are for whoever read the long white paper that we wrote, and I was involved in. I was taking wrote most of it together with my colleagues. It was every word there. I know what's there. So one of the parts that we're doing, there's a validation process for seals. We can provide a MyShield seal or to to a website, kind of saying that it is verified and validated. So there will be kind of public officers that can take part in the validation process. And those people, yes, those people are, it's already there. We're kind of, they're going to be rated on their previous, involvement in the system and so on. So this is where what you're referring gets into the action.
Yeah, interesting, because then the more it evolves, the more things you discover, as well as also seeing like how the development of the community or the whole ecosystem grows.
Sure. And you know what, you're saying something about that, and I think one of the biggest issues that we see and that we hear when I talk with people, and the reaction that I get on MyShield from people is that this is the security, the phishing, the fraud that is a common thing in the crypto industry today, is one of those things that I would say delays or prevents many of the overall end users in the world that can take part in this community to actually join the industry and get involved and hold tokens and interact and so on. So a solution like MyShield and other solutions that will provide other types of security. This is not the only type of security solution that you need. There's other problems out there that we, of course, don't deal with. It's different type of problems. Those solutions are critical, as I see it, as other people see it, to the actual success of this industry, to the actual growth of the number of people that are actually holding tokens and holding cryptocurrency and exchanging and taking part and actually making this the next phase in the world economy. And I think this is very important. It's impossible. One of these things that I sometimes give as an example is that if something goes wrong, if you're doing something in a bank and something goes wrong, sometimes can also lose the money and then it can go away. But in some cases, you can still do something. There's someone to talk to. There's a bank. There's an organization that you can approach. If there was a fraud, you can discuss and maybe get your funds back. If it happened in the crypto, if you transfer the money to another wallet, that's it. So this is exactly why you have to have those things that will help people feel much more trusted in their interaction online in this space. And of course, this is crypto specific, but talking about the e-commerce problem, and this is what maybe not very known to a lot of people. Counterfeits today worldwide is one of the biggest economical problems. It is huge. Currently, there's about $2 trillion US dollars of sales of counterfeits and piracy worldwide. This is about the size of the GDP of Canada. This is how big it is. It's huge, and it's growing. It grew significantly from less than $1 trillion about 5 years ago, and it's growing. And all the estimates and about it is going to reach about $3 trillion, almost $3 trillion in about 4 years. It's just growing. It's a huge issue. And again, the people that hurt at itself, of course, the companies and businesses are getting hurt of it. But the people that really hurt, if you buy the wrong cosmetics or the wrong drugs, or I don't know, a bad helmet for your bicycle, the people that get hurt are the end users. And this is also one of those things that MyShield and it's is going to help fighting against.
That it's you're definitely right. And going back to the point of the adoption of blockchain, I think that that's something that I see. I speak with every day with different projects that go on the channel. Many that are on ICO phase. And they're all facing the same problem of the problem of security. How do we make people on the one hand feel safer that they are actually sending, like you said, the funds to the right smart contract and not to a phishing site with another wallet. And this is in the crypto communities nowadays. We talk about it, but we don't really dimension the size of this and how important it is to get it right if we want the masses to start using blockchain technology or cryptocurrencies. It is just too much of a risk, as you said, at the moment.
Well, there was a number published early this year by Ernst & Young. They had a research about the ICOs that were taking place in 2017, and their research found that about 10% of the monies that were supposed to be paid through ICOs were actually stolen. So we're talking about $400 million of the overall, investments or buying of tokens in the ICOs were actually stolen. It's a huge number. I must say that I'm not sure if it's not even underestimated. And that doesn't include other frauds. This is just ICOs. That doesn't include, exchanges and other companies that are providing services with crypto and all these kind of things that are also happening. And the news are full with the different scams that are out there.
Yeah, that's correct. I think now that we're moving towards the end of the interview, maybe we can discuss on the roadmap for the coming quarters, and then the big picture, your long-term vision for MyShield.
Sure. So first of all, we are currently in our private sale, where we are continuing to partner with different companies and organizations to promote BrandShield and MyShield. And we currently plan to have the TGE, the token generation event, the actual public sale in the next quarter in Q3. Once that's done, we expect to have the first beta of the MyShield application out there for the public in Q1 of 2019. So that's the overall. If you want to get more details, you can always see it on the myshield.com website or on our white paper that is downloadable from there. So that's a general roadmap of the company. But when you're talking about the vision, I think that the main view for us is that as we see, this is the next cybersecurity solution for the end users. So what you've had in the past for the end users was the antivirus, then came the anti-spam, and we're the anti-scam. And as I see it, as all the people here at us at BrandShield, MyShield see it, within 2, 3, 4, 5 years, probably we hope that as soon as everyone has an antivirus on their computer, or they will have to have the anti-scam. It is a huge problem. The problems that we're talking about are huge, and in order to protect yourself, you'll have to have it on your phone, on your computer, to protect yourself. And that's our vision. That's where we're going, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, interesting. Are you also planning to have it to expand it to protection of data more in general as well, or protection of digital identities?
So look, the platform that we're creating is I would say has the capabilities to expand to other places. I must say that we were both in our plan, in the white paper, and right now what we're putting out there, we wanted to be very focused. When you develop things like that, when you start, you need to be focused. You need to know your target. You need to have a business plan and know where you're going, what you want to reach, and what is the target. Definitely, once this platform is out there, there's going to be other applications that it can be used for. like the ones that you've mentioned. I have some other ideas that I've already thought about, and some of them are even in our patent. So this whole concept was patented by us. So there's more things that can be done. And definitely, I believe that it will expand later on, but we want to be focused in the initial steps to make sure that our main vision is implemented, and then then grow it to other places.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, thank you very much, Yoav, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and thanks everyone for listening to this session about MyShield and about cybersecurity and how is MyShield tackling that problem for crypto and for the bigger picture as well, also for later on for e-commerce and having the users as the in the center of the ecosystem. So very interesting, and I wish you the best with the token generation in you said in the Q3.
Well, yeah, third quarter.
In the third quarter of this year, and and hopefully we can have a catch-up session in a few months, or maybe at the end of the year, to see how everything is going.
I'll be happy to do that. Thank you very much for having me.
Great, thank you.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.